What's happening, everybody? It's draft day, baby, and today we're diving headfirst into the golden era of one-liners, laugh tracks, and Jim Carrey yelling at full volume. That's right, it's our 90s comedy draft. This is the decade of slap bracelets, blockbuster late fees, and questionable fashion choices. But today, it's 4 drafters, 13 spots, infinite chances to ruin some friendships. Alongside of me, I've got JJ.
Hey, Clive, I'll bring your fat ass some cookies.
I got Alyssa.
Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers gotta hug.
And today joining us, a man whose fantasy football takes are sharper than Shooter McGavin's backswing, whose hair is more volume than the 90s laugh track. It's the one, the only, Andrew Cooper.
You had an extra pair of gloves this whole time.
I was hoping somebody would bring that in.
That was good.
Guys?
Freaking
Thanks for
love
having
it.
me.
Absolutely, man.
You also didn't tell me to bring a tagline. Luckily, there's an infinite number from the 90s to pull from.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Thought we'd keep you on your toes there a little bit, you know?
It's kind of a dick move, Brian.
I'm a professional, man. I'm ready to rock and roll.
gonna
I
say.
have to say, before that, I spent more time doing this than I did updating my fantasy football rankings today. I have about 25
Wow.
movies grouped into tiers, too. Like must-have, ones I'm ready to veto, ones I'm not quite sure if they're considered comedies or not. This could get interesting.
I have to say, I switched up my rankings probably 3-4 times in the last few days, just having to like evolve the thought process of like, is it a true comedy or is it like a rom-com, not quite a comedy? Is it funny?
Yeah.
Is it not? It was a bitch, that's for sure.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I struggle with that too. And then I feel like there's the movies that you know and you've seen so many times, so you're like, I don't really need to refresh on it. But then once we started watching other 90s movies, I'm like, I feel like these ones are getting to the top. They can't surpass these top tier.
Right. The top tier, that's exactly what it is. It's like, no matter what I'm doing, I'll watch it. If it's like, if I'm at the airport and it's on a TV with no volume, I'll watch it. Like, doesn't matter. Like, that's tier 1. After that, you get into some different groups because there are some where I look at it and I'm like, you know what? I don't know if I'll ever watch that again. And it hurts. It hurt. This is it was a roller coaster of emotions going through these movies here.
Yeah, this is definitely like a very tough list to build. Like I built my list at the beginning of last week, and I've been going through it, adding, deleting, I am nowhere close to where I started, and I'm heartbroken on some of them. I'm like, man, I love that movie when I was a kid. Then I started watching like the preview for it, and I'm like, the movie sucks.
I was hurting my own feelings, dude. I really truly was. Like just going through being like, man, that doesn't hold up. It doesn't.
The gut check I had to hit myself. So like we're 80, 90 episodes in on the movie podcast, and I've picked a handful of 90s comedies that I truly love. I absolutely love. And the shit I've gotten from other people on this podcast, so I'm like, look, they're in my tier 4, but that's like, I want them so bad to make it, but I know they're not going to. You guys aren't going to let that
Ryan,
happen.
Rush Hour is not going in the top 3. So just don't even try, sir.
Okay.
I'll
Maybe
tell
I've
you.
got some support here.
I'll tell you. I have a list a tier that I specifically am like calling the group that I won't veto if you guys put it up there.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Like there's a group that aren't in my top 13, but if you say it, I'll question it. You know? So, but yeah, this could be a tough one. This could get ugly.
So, is there in everyone's mind a solid first round pick?
Or like
Number
first
one,
overall?
First overall, is there a solid? I think there definitely is.
I've got 2.
I agree. I actually put 3 in the top tier, but I put the first 2 in there right away. Like right away, I was like, these 2, and then where do we go? And then I was like, you know what? This is a top tier movie for me, but I think it might be 2.
Dang.
Nice.
Right.
Well, before we get rocking and rolling here, I guess as far as we talk about these 90s comedies we're looking at, how many did y'all watch? Did y'all watch a handful of them? Was it just kind of refreshers with some trailers, JJ?
For the most part, I just refreshed with some trailers. I have seen, on my list, I have seen these a number of times, countless times. So, I mean, I didn't have the time to fully sit down and watch all of them. I wish I could have, but yeah, I bumped through some trailers and then also just relived some memories in my own head, which I do weirdly all the time. But
What about you, Coop?
So there's like 3. There's actually 5 of them that I had watched before, like just all like they just came around. You know what I mean? Like I was at my parents' house, you know, and it's like, okay, let's throw this on. And I will say 2 of those 5 are not in my top 13. Didn't quite hold up. Yeah, that's kind of crazy, right?
Ooh.
A couple of them are just like locked in standards. Then I did watch a couple trailers. And I did. There were a couple. There's one movie in particular. I wonder if it'll come up that I haven't seen since I was a kid, and I didn't get around to watching it. In my opinion, might be kind of void on that on a particular movie that I don't quite remember. It's one of those ones where it's like I know I've seen it, I don't quite remember it. So
Yeah.
you know, I like to that's a little foreshadowing for later. But yeah, I have watched a good number of these just in passing.
Nice. Alyssa?
I was just looking at my list trying to count. I'm pretty sure I watched like 8 or 9 movies. But with them being 90s movies, they're only 90 minutes. So it's way better than like when we're on the regular episodes with one movie, that is like 7 hours if you're going to watch it more than once and you're going to pause and kind of take notes. And so this was nice to, yeah, it was a lot of time in front of the TV, but at least it was comedies and at least it was short and it wasn't too much of a commitment.
Yeah, with my wife, sometimes watching movies can take a month. Like, she'll fall asleep after 15 minutes, right? I'll watch another 15 minutes. We'll rewind it the next day. Boom, we watch the same 15 minutes. I'll watch the same 15 minutes of a movie like 20 times. Dude, it must have taken us half a year to watch all the extended cuts of Lord of the Rings. Half a year. I think it took us weeks to watch Gangs of New York. I don't even know if we ever finished it. So yeah, I'll tell you, it's a time machine though, and I have plenty of time to take notes. So, but yeah, these ones are quick. It's nice.
Yeah, 100%. That makes me feel a little less ashamed that I've polished through about a dozen 90s movies over the last like week and a half. A lot of them in the background while I'm doing some computer stuff, but I watched 2 movies that I had never seen. I wanted to make sure that I got those under my belt because I felt like they're going to pop up. One of which, it's going in my top 3. It has to make it in the top 3. I can't believe I missed out on this movie, and I can't wait to bring it up here in a little bit. But yeah, I was heavily surprised with turning this one on.
Awesome.
But as far as, I guess 90s, Coop, you a 90s kid as well?
Yeah, I was born in 89, so pretty squarely.
Oh, cool. So we got 92, 91, 90, and 89 here in the podcast. So nice diversity here, folks, if you're looking for some 90s kid love right here. Well, I guess let's go ahead and get this rocking and rolling. Alyssa, you want to kind of fill in the audience if they haven't listened on these rules we have here?
Yeah, very complex, super hard. Just kidding. Super easy. So to start off, we're going to spin a wheel, and that's going to determine the order that we are going to choose our draft slots. So not every draft slot is going to have the same little perks with it. The first person will get spots 1, 5, 9. They get 2 vetoes. The next person would get 1 veto. The next person gets 1 veto and a veto override. But you can't use a veto override if it's your pick. That's the only time that it's unacceptable or not allowed. And then the 4th person just gets 1 veto as well.
I will say this, not being able to veto override your own pick, you know what that rule is, right? You can't triple stamp a double stamp.
You can't triple stamp a double stamp.
That's amazing.
I've never.
I feel like.
Fuck yeah.
That's amazing. I'm going to try to fit that in the next week.
Put that right in the rule book, yeah.
Put a little asterisk with your name right by it. We got that locked in.
We definitely need that rule to lock in for the veto. Just you can't. Otherwise, I don't know if you listened to the last draft that we had, but sometimes people are trying to pull a veto out of others, being ridiculous, and so we got to have some boundaries. I feel like that's a stab at
somebody specific. Me.
You? Yeah, you were just pretty open about it last time. So I never know what to expect with you.
He's famous for the veto baiting, so don't always bite on that one.
I'm a team player, dude. I don't know. I'm definitely looking for cues. I'm looking for allies here. So I'm willing to play survivor on this one if we have to. Just to get the list to where it needs to be. You know,
that's the hard part.
I'm Bill Belichick when it comes to the rules.
Ooh. I'm watching you now.
We'll see. I see you up there, JJ. Let's get this
gonna be fun.
Let's get this sorted.
All right, are you ready to?
We just want to get it right.
Start?
That's all.
Let's get this rock and rolling. We're going to go ahead and spin the wheel as we land on people that you get to choose your draft slot, whether you want to be A, B, C, or D. JJ, how many spins we doing?
Let's just hit a dose. Number 2.
Just number 2? All righty. See how well that fares for us. It usually goes in JJ's.
We never
form,
pick
but
one.
Nope.
We always have to have 2 or 3. Oh, snap.
I don't like the singles.
All right, here we go. First draft, of course. Of freaking course. That's how it works.
I would have been, dude, what?
JJ,
That
what
feels
draft or
rigged.
slot do you want?
You know, I'm gonna go with slot A.
Going with slot.
Wow.
A.
I want that
Alright.
first pick.
All right, let's get your slice out of there. We'll spin it
Goop, I
again.
feel like you're disappointed that wasn't your first pick.
So I wasn't listening when you said 2 spins, so I really truly thought I won.
Oh no, that was disappointment.
Yeah, it was. And then it was spinning again, and I was like, oh, I get what they mean by 2. So it's okay. We'll start off with disappointment. Well, we'll adversity. He didn't pick the slot I wanted, though. He didn't pick the slot I
good.
wanted, so I'm okay. Yeah.
So I'm really
my-
torn here. I wanted
My
A.
poker face on.
I wanted the double veto, so now I'm on tilt here because I don't know what I want. Do I take that override or like? Yeah, let me get the override. I'm gonna go drafter C.
That was the spot I wanted.
Okay.
That was the spot I wanted to get my movie into the top 3. I was gonna do what I had to do.
And we treat our guests right here, folks.
Oh.
We
Cool show, bro. So I will say
Man.
this for those that didn't watch our fantasy football show, you did super rig that wheel so that we could talk about tight ends.
So Brian is very supposedly rigging the wheel.
no, never.
that wheel was visually rigged on the screen. Like everyone knew that one was. It was not a behind the scenes rigging. It was doing the guest a favor. So I think I deserve to go last here. That's fine. That's fine. That's fair.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna take slot B.
Okay.
So Coop, I gotta say the fourth spot was actually the one that I look at as one of my favorite, just because you don't get any of the high ones, but when we have this many to choose from, you kind of have a commanding role of getting this started with the first 2 picks here, going with 12 and 13. So, it could be worse. It could be worse.
I had it ranked last simply because I do worry that someone will have a veto in their pocket and just pick whatever move they want. For 13.
Yeah, I get that. The nice thing is, though, like vetoing number 13 really is pointless because then you pick again there at 12. So essentially, if we try to veto it out of there, you can throw it right back in. So 13, you almost have just like carte blanche, just going crazy on what you want here. So with your first pick, number 13, what are you eyeballing here?
Oh, I started at the bottom. Oh, go. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're starting from. Okay, so I don't want to pick like my favorite.
No, so this is the hard part. Like honestly, that was why I did not pick slot D, because starting from the bottom is you
So
think it'd
tough.
be easy.
Okay, so yeah, I will. Okay, so then I will put a movie out there that I believe is not the best movie, but deserves to be on the list. And I really like the movie Basketball by Matt Parker and Trey Stone from South Park fame. For those that have never seen it, they invent their own game. That is basketball. That is for the slacker that anyone can play. It's basically a baseball mix of knockout, right? It's kind of like a basketball shooting game, and nonsense ensues as it becomes one of the most popular sports in the country. So I really enjoy
Dang.
basketball. If any you guys have not, it sounds like you haven't seen that list.
I haven't either.
I
think you-
have seen it several times, but it's not one that I really wanted on the list. So no, I'm.
Take it out.
No, you gotta pick, man.
I
Throw it
like
in there.
use a veto.
You keep it in there. I want to
Good.
keep it on there because it's Trey Parker and Matt Stone. I mean, those guys are a comedy powerhouse of the '90s. I mean, look at South Park and everything like that. Yeah, yeah, I'm cool with it being 13.
Excellent.
Made it. See, that's kind of the beauty too at the bottom. Like it's so hard to want to veto those because you want to save them for
Right.
later. So you kind of get full ride here. So you're gonna go up next with pick number 12. What you got for us?
So yeah, so now it becomes interesting because it's like, do I pick one from like my top 8 here just to get them on the board, or it's like that fight, right?
Mhm.
Because I don't want to put, I don't know if I'm going to pick anything from my top like 8 or so because I don't want them to be underrepresented at 12. I think I'll fight later for some of those movies. One I definitely think should be on here that you guys not. It's kind of a outcast movie. People either love it or hate it. But the movie My Cousin Vinny is
Ooh.
so funny, bro. And I think
Yes.
too many people are like, I haven't seen it. But the people that have seen it are like, this movie rules. So give me some My Cousin Vinny.
Fucking A right. We've done it here on the pod. It is a favorite around here. One of my favorite movies out of the 90s. I'm okay with it being down on the list. It was hard for me to get this into my 13 spots. The way you just wedged that in there, fucking love it. That is great right there.
I had it at 10. And I'm like, you know what? It's got to be on. I just want it in there. I want it in there.
No, I think it's great. Joe Pesci, Marissa Tomei, the grits. I grew up in the South my whole life, so like moving to places that didn't have grits like blew my mind. So I just related so hard to that. Just freaking great,
bro. The crazy up here, man. When you actually, because I lived in the Boston area for a long time. Now I live closer to like Providence, but like when you can actually get some like good biscuits and gravy, it's crazy.
Oh.
And we don't, dude. You can't like up here. It's like. Every once in a while, somebody like, "Oh, we're doing biscuits and gravy as like a special."
Yeah,
you get it, and sometimes it's whack. Like you guys got breakfast. You guys got breakfast figured out down there. Up here, it's just
yeah. I'll agree. The North does not know how to like cook a good breakfast.
Right,
My
it's
honest opinion.
bagels, like New York style bagels are good. Yeah, but everyone's just getting dunks, dude. Everyone's moving too fast up here. You gotta slow down, sit down, eat a nice, big, disgusting breakfast. Ruin your day. You know, go back to bed.
Oh yeah.
Knock back some Bloody Marys. You know, whatever you need with your
Not
brunch.
you. Shut up.
I need the kind of breakfast that I need like a second shower after. That's the kind of breakfast I like having. Yeah.
Absolutely, nothing wrong with the meat sweats there.
Hell
yeah. That's what I want, dude. Everybody out here just trying to eat like an English muffin.
Awesome. So far we've got basketball, My Cousin Vinny. I'm up next at the 11 spot. And shit, I'm tilting already.
It's so tough going from
started yet.
From the back up is so hard, dude. Because it'll get vicious. I got some I need.
All right, I'm gonna go for actually it's another movie we've done here on the podcast. I guess it's in that realm of My Cousin Vinny. I feel like it deserves here to be on the list, but maybe not quite top 10. I love me some Woody Harrelson. Absolutely love him. And when I met Wesley Snipes for the first time, I was enamored. So give me some White Men Can't Jump here at pick 11.
I love the movie. This
Where's
was
the
on my
butt?
semi list. Is it a comedy? This is one that was on my questionable, like, and I've got some on my list too that I may throw out, and I don't know. I'm not saying no, but I just don't know it's a yes.
Let me throw something in there that I've been thinking about with these is that there's a lot of, because of the nature of comedy movies, there's a lot of overlap in the actors. And I found myself saying, I like this movie better than this movie. So are we going to have two Woody Harrelson movies on here? Or this is going to be the one that represents Woody Harrelson? It's hard to say. I don't know if I'm going to veto it because I don't know if do you guys ever mention, you try not to say the names of other movies.
You can if you want. It's all your strategy. But you talk about Kingpin, right?
I'll say Kingpin, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
My other process was there was another bowling movie that I'd rather put over Kingpin, which opened up Woody Harrelson.
That's actually
so like that's kind of where I was sitting.
Smart. Hey, you know what? I side with the defendant on this one. You've sold me, bro.
But
okay.
I kind of have to like put my ball in Alyssa's court on this one. Is it a comedy movie though? Yeah, there's some funny little like one-liners, but it's not like it's a full-blown comedy movie to me.
Bro, I swear I was going partially insane going through the list of movies and being like, I chuckled.
No, yeah.
I was looking at Goodfellas and I'm like, kind of funny. I'm like, well, but if it's a comedy, that's number like one. So I'm like, it can't be a comedy. So I don't know. This one, I think it is a comedy. And I have to side with him on the other bowling movie arc that kicking out based on that.
My hard thing with kicking out movies kind of like this in My Cousin Vinny is then I found myself narrowing it down to you're just getting a lot of just stupid humor and slapstick humor. And I'm like, I don't want to do 13 movies that are that because then it's a stretch to get movies that I don't really want on here. So I did end up shifting back a little bit. And also the movie I really wanted to pick it sounds like I might get a little bit more love, so I'm risking it. I'm going to see if I can get it up a little higher because it sounds like I
Damn
might have a
it.
fan to get that movie higher.
Oh,
I think you're gonna be just fine on that, dude. But the thing is, well, let me just ask, just to put a pin in this. Do you think White Men Can't Jump is funnier than Kingpin?
No,
I think I'd
I
laugh
don't.
more at
See,
White Man Can't
I don't
Jump
know
than
if I
Kingpin.
do. That's the part that makes me just say throw them all out. But I'm willing to keep it.
I was gonna say, and so the vetoes actually go in order of the pick. So JJ would have first shot at veto, then Alyssa, then Brian, then Coop. So JJ, you veto in it? It's at 11. You don't want to veto down there. Why would you veto down there?
I don't. Oh, son of a bitch. I'm gonna save my vetoes. I'm gonna let it slide. I hate you.
Alyssa?
This is ruined already.
I only got one veto, and you're about to throw Rush Hour in the top 5. So
No, I won't take it up
don't-
that high. I won't put it up that high.
Don't worry, Alyssa. I've still got
Just leave it.
Okay, but top 10 is some real shit. So get it out now.
True.
Here's your chance, Brian.
And that's kind of what I was doing there. I had a handful of movies in this tier that I was putting in the 10, 11, 12. And like I think that was just my favorite one of what I have, minus the one I think I can get higher. All right, so sounds like we're moving on to the pick number 10. We are officially in the top 10 then. No more fucking around. Game face, folks. Alyssa, number 10. Let's start it off right. Let's get this.
I have so much anxiety right now because are we all on the same page?
No.
Like, I don't want a top 10 of
They're clearly
Adam
not.
Sandler and
After
Jim
that.
Carrey.
Different books. That's another thing too, is I tried to limit how many of those I did.
Yeah.
I'll put as many of those as you guys want on there. That's the group. That's the group that I basically said, like, if you say yes, I can't say no.
But there's definitely a comedy powerhouse in the 90s.
Some have
Oh,
to be
yeah.
on there. But if we,
Two or
if
three
we,
actors.
if that's why I say if we pay enough homage to those guys towards the top, then we could be okay. But
Same.
okay,
Okay. Well, then, with that being said, and my next pick is not till 6. This movie, I went back and forth about whether it was a comedy, and Brian unknowingly gave me validation through conversation that it would fall in this category. So I have to throw this one in the 10 for the ladies, because Clueless was iconic to the 90s. And it may not be slapstick, it may not be hilarious, but it's funny, it's witty, there's depth to it because you think she's a dumb blonde, but she's actually really intelligent and smart. So I'm trying to put Clueless in the 10 spot.
I'm cool with it. I knew you were going to try and put it in here somewhere on the list. I like it down there at 10. This wasn't a movie I saw as a kid or like younger.
He
I saw
literally
it later
saw it
on.
last week.
It wasn't that bad. Do I have the ties to it that she does? No. But like, okay, I missed out. I'll say that.
I have never seen this one. I will say in my research, I did peruse around a bit. So the Reddit streets were saying very well represented over there. I just never seen this one, but I looked it up before. Paul Rudd, Turk from Scrubs,
Yeah,
Donald
from
Faison.
Scrubs.
So I'm like,
So good.
yeah, I don't have enough dog in the fight to veto it.
Yeah, I mean, I watched this movie with my sister when I was a kid, and I was probably too young to really understand anything that was going on or half the comedy in it. I have not watched it since. So just like Coop said, like, yeah, I did some perusing, did a little bit of internet research, and yeah, it was definitely ranked by a lot of people. So I don't have enough evidence to say no, sir.
Great technicality pick, Alyssa.
Yeah.
Ooh, gotta get my win
Podcast
in
with
somewhere.
men.
That's
She
the
figured-
thing when the chart goes up. I mean, the chart's the chart,
All right, now that the glass ceiling is broken, let's go ahead and get some real picks in.
Right.
Number 9.
Okay. Watch
Right,
yourself.
4 picks in. Here we go. JJ, you finally get to put your mark here on the board. Number 9, what you got?
Oh man. So looking at my tiered list, going from the bottom, man, I've got so many on here that I just don't know what to do.
Yeah, I've already figured out what I could part with.
Oh, I'm hurting right now.
I'm doing the math. The math ain't mathing. The math ain't mathing on my rankings over here with some movies I need.
I've got 8 with 9 slots left. This isn't gonna fly.
I really need to go. Well, I mean, we're gonna pull something off Saturday Night Live. I really want to put some Coneheads on there. I think that is a great movie. It was always on, USA, TNT, whatever, back in the day. Oh, it's so annoying, but I love it. I crack up every time I watch it. I love me some Coneheads. I think there's some other SNLs that are going to be higher.
There should be a sprinkle of other SNL movies that'll be higher.
Yeah. So I've never seen this. I tried to turn this on multiple times as a kid, and I just couldn't ever get, like, this and Spaceballs are 2 that I'm ashamed that I've never seen because I just couldn't. Satire I'm weird with. I'm very hit or miss with satire, so, like, I don't know. It just never rang with me, so I'm kind of out on this one. I don't really have anything negative to say.
So Spaceballs is incredible.
Yes.
So let's just, if you clip the part you said about Spaceballs, just get rid of that. Coneheads, though, I actually agree that I also attempted to watch Coneheads on multiple occasions. I remember being at a family party when I was very young, watching it and being like, "This is making me real uncomfortable." Just the Coneheads though, because I was so I was like, I don't know if I like it, but I haven't really given it its proper due.
Same.
So it's difficult. Now I'm at the point where it's like I don't want to disrespect your opinion because I don't have an opinion, but I would like to remove your movie and put a different one. Alyssa, what do you think? I think I only have one veto though. From picked slot. I don't know if I
only have one veto as well.
And I'm getting nervous too because, like, I'd like to be able to veto this and think that the 8 movies that I have that have to make the list will make it on there, but the way it's going, I can't have a lot of faith in y'all right now. Like, clearly we didn't sync up our lists well enough.
I think I can. I feel like I can trust JJ to pick some. I'm gonna veto Coneheads. I trust JJ to pick something.
To do better. Like.
My plan worked out fucking great because I didn't want Coneheads up there, but I knew that these 2 yahoos.
You sandbagging vetoes?
I am.
That's absolutely ridiculous behavior, and I appreciate the hell out of it. Okay.
I'm just saying, I knew Brian and Alyssa would not appreciate it at all, so I was like, I'm gonna throw that one up there. I'm gonna get one of their vetoes for sure.
You're willing to permanently tie your name to Coneheads over this?
Hey,
you should see some of the movies he picks on the podcast. He would 100%. This is on brand for JJ.
Now, do you like Coneheads though?
I like a few scenes. Like, there's the homecoming football scene where he brings a firework, and it's like a little tiny bottle rocket, and they're like, "What are you doing, Conehead? You're supposed to, like, supply the whole fireworks show," and they light it, and it's like the brightest thing you've ever seen. Everybody comes out of the stadium with like sunburn on their foreheads and stuff like that. Like, the little tiny shit like that cracks me up. But is it a movie that's a top 15 even 90s comedy? Absolutely not.
You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
What ridiculous favor. All right, so but now that I've honestly, I'm so willing to remove it though that fine, good. Pick a good movie now.
Do your job, JJ.
Yeah, I will do my job. Man, I'm going Friday now. Friday is definitely a top 10 movie.
Fuck yeah.
It is the start of a good franchise. I mean, I don't think you can argue against Friday at all.
Nope.
After we did Friday After Next for one of our Christmas movies, I had faith that you were going to help me make sure that this movie got on the list tonight.
Yeah.
Friday's good. I will say, how you gonna get fired on your day off? I got fired on my day off losing my veto over some stupid Conehead stuff.
But look what you did, Coop. You saved us all. You got Coneheads off and you got Friday.
I saved Jay. Look, Jay going right. Like, dude, it's your fault. But I will say, I'll add one thing. I don't have a veto, so it doesn't matter. But the addition of Friday to the list takes another stoner type movie and makes it so, like, let's not put that on there for me.
Same.
But who knows?
But you're up, so you could change that if you want. If you want to go ahead and throw that second stoner movie, go on. But we got vetoes.
Since I know we're
We
just
got vetoes.
throwing the worst possible movies up there to see if anyone's willing to ruin the board or not. Okay, since we're into the top 8, I will throw a movie up there that I truly have ranked right in this area, and I think it needs to be up here. And I'm hoping that you guys have the respect to leave it. This is going to be the original Austin Powers, the International Man of Mystery, and this movie continues to be just as stupid and funny as when I first saw it, and it makes me chuckle.
I mean, we had to show some love to Mike Myers, and I wasn't putting Married an Axe Murderer up here or Wayne's World. So, like, Austin Powers felt... I will say Goldmember number 3 is my favorite, just outside of the 90s. But
outside the 90s, yeah.
Austin Powers, regardless, I feel like it serves well on this list.
It's
Agreed.
so outlandish. Like, it is really dumb. Like when we did Goldmember for the regular podcast, I went back and watched all 3, and this is my least favorite of the Austin Powers movies.
The original?
The original. It is my least favorite, but it is fucking funny.
I think it more speaks to how good the other 2 are than that it's necessarily
You could
bad.
definitely tell that they're like, learning. It progressively got better, but yeah. Number 8. Yeah, I'll keep it on there.
Would you? So I think the second. I mean, there's arguments made that the second one is funnier. It's just there's so few instances where the second movie is funnier. I still think that the original with the original plot point and the introduction to all the characters, man, like that just holds a special spot for me.
Yeah, 2's definitely my least favorite. I think 3 and 1 are definitely the 2 that are up there for me.
See, I really like 2. I really like 2 as well. Yeah, I like them all.
Fat bastard, just when they brought him in the second one, I was like, it's Mike Myers being too much.
It's way too much. It's a lot of it is way too much though. But sometimes I need that. Sometimes I like that.
I like Fat Bastard. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. He fucking cracks me up.
All of it is way too much.
Hey, that fits well on the podcast here. That's what we do here on Too Much Movie Night.
Yeah.
Too much.
Boom.
So I'm in a pickle. I got 2 movies that really need to go in this spot because I can't pick them with my third. I feel like my third's already like set in stone. I like these top 3, 4 picks. I really don't know how we're gonna waver from the movies that are gonna go up there. So I'm hurting.
Now, let me ask you, Alyssa, do you have like a clear top 6 or 7 that you want in there, or are you fluid in that right now? Like, same with you, JJ. Like, how you got? Because I feel like I have 6 right now that I would be upset if they weren't up there.
I have 8 on my list. 9, but 2 of them, like one of them, I'm like, I just had it there just to be there. But
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not locked into anything for sure. I'm trying to figure out what you guys are locked into. Like, what's the top 4? Because I do have a top 4 that I want. I don't care what order they're in.
Same.
I've got 7 left, and they have to make it up here. I don't know if I need to send you guys a message on what 7 movies those are, but like, folks, I'm gonna melt. I am not gonna make it through this pod if these 7 movies don't make it up there.
And that's why I saved my vetoes.
The one I want to pick, I have faith that one of y'all would pick. And I cannot pick the other movie any higher. I know you guys will not let me have this movie any higher. So I'm going to take the swing. I'm going to see if I can get it on here. Because don't you ever touch a black man's radio. We are going with Rush Hour here at pick number 7.
Which one of y'all hit me? I can't do anything to help you here, man. He preemptively blocked my block. So it's up to the people now.
I love Rush Hour. This is one of the first PG-13 movies I saw as a kid. I mean, we already got a Chris Tucker movie up here, I guess, but like, I don't want to take that away from it. I shouldn't have brought that up now that I'm saying it.
I'll also tell you guys this. It's not one of the 6 I need up there. So do what you have to do.
Okay.
Collusion.
Oh, shit. And JJ's got 2 vetoes.
Heyo.
Wait, who has the veto override? Oh, Brian, that's you.
Yes.
So you can stick it up there, right?
I can't override
You can't
this
on your
one.
own. You can't on your own.
I can't override this one.
You can't triple stamp a double stamp.
Come on, that's your rule. What are you doing for getting that?
I know, dude. I was so rattled by that Coneheads move that I'm guessing the whole rules.
Love it.
All right.
Oh, JJ, are you gonna veto Rush Hour? Are you gonna be a dick?
I don't know if that's a dick move. I will say, if Rush Hour stays, I just can't imagine you guys not saying these other movies. That's all.
That's where I'm at too. That's why I was like, I have to put it here because it can't go any higher.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at my top 5. I'm looking at my top 10 right here, and Rush Hour is not in that top 10.
I've got 7 other movies I need in this list without Rush Hour. So if you do it. It's fine. But like, I had to put it up there.
Pop that sumbitch off there. We
out
can
there.
move in.
I think that's right. Even as a Rush Hour enthusiast, I'm glad we got to say it. I'm glad we got to say a couple quotes. But I think that there's movies that need to be up there, and it was a great way to give it an honorable mention.
As long as Coneheads isn't on there over Rush Hour, I guess I'm happy with that.
Yeah, dude. Of course not.
All right. This is my other one that, like, it's just outside my top 6 tiers, or my top 6 in the tiers. So we're going to go out there a little bit. We're going to go out there into space. But before we do, we're going to take ourselves a nice little bump and hang out with Tim Allen for a little bit. As far as spoof movies go, this is the greatest spoof of all time. Like, because it doesn't even feel like a spoof movie. I got to go Galaxy Quest, though.
Isn't Rainn Wilson, Dwight Schrute in this
Veto.
Yeah.
Veto.
No!
Veto.
No!
Get
Come
that
on!
shit out of here. We got Adam Sandler. We got Jim Carrey. We've got Farley. Where the fuck are they?
Are you
Where are they
shitting me?
at? We only have Mike Myers on there. Like, you guys got to get it together.
We got
you
6
two
other
up top
picks.
are messing
We
around.
got 6
And I
other
feel like
picks.
we're trying to keep it cool down here, but you guys are messing with the flow.
Yeah, I'm torn. I was torn.
Or
on
maybe
that
I'm
one.
being dramatic. I
No,
don't know.
you're right. I was torn on that one. Good cast, good idea. I mean, I don't
But
know.
ha
though.
ha ha, and there's way other funnier movies.
The parody movies of movies that are too old for anyone to know, that's a tough category now. All of a sudden.
God damn it.
Because like Star Wars,
Third
everyone's seen
time's
Star
the
Wars.
charm.
What movie is Galaxy Quest a? It's Star Trek, right?
Star Trek,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
Oh my god.
I think you did a good job.
Really?
I think you did
Really?
good. Yeah.
Come on.
Are you shocked? I feel like I told
No,
you that.
I really thought I was going to get some more love with this movie.
There are some pure blue bloods left. This is the '90s
Let's-
comedy, bro. Come
Yeah.
on,
let's
do it by the
be
book.
real now.
All right. Let's pull up that bowling movie then. I do think it's in contention for. What? Shut up, Melissa. You can't veto me
Wait.
anymore.
Wait, are you about to throw up Kingpin?
No,
or
not
another
Kingpin.
bowling movie?
No.
This is a great movie. This is a good pick.
Okay, I think I know actually now. Okay,
We're
carry
going
on.
Big
Sorry.
Lebowski.
You got me all riled
Yep.
up with that last one.
Kingpin, dude. Sneaking King. The double backdoor Kingpin would have been hilarious. but
Would it not after I used 2 vetoes?
that would have obviously been. That would have been great. But Big Lebowski, all-time classic, incredible cast.
Yeah.
Dude, maybe it's so funny because I go through this movie and I'm like, who's the funniest guy in it? And my mind changes every time.
Yeah.
Like, is it John Goodman or is it Philip Seymour Hoffman? Like, dude, it is just that movie is so good, bro.
So have you dove down into the fan fiction about how Ronnie isn't real?
No, shut up. You're kidding.
That he's he is totally just a because you never have Lebowski actually like mention him directly or talk to him directly. So he is a
Only John Goodman's character sees Donnie.
yeah, Donnie, yeah. You only have Donnie.
You're out of your element, Donnie.
I gotta watch it. Mark it 8, dude. I have to watch.
It's like a
that.
whole deal that only Donnie is visible to John Goodman, and he is like a war flash, like a buddy that he lost back,
Which
in the war
makes
or
it
some
that
shit like
much
that.
funnier.
Bro, the scene where he's like, what was all that shit about Nam, man? Like, that's got to be so funny if you remove Donnie from what the
Yeah.
dude is seeing. All right, now I got to watch it again very soon.
It's
Unbelievable.
very intriguing. Like dive down deep into it, and then yeah.
I'll get way in there.
Yeah, this is a Coen Brothers movie. This was just one of those movies I saw when I was younger, and I was intrigued by it. I didn't understand it, and I kept watching it as I was younger, and the appreciation just grew and grew. John Goodman is untouchable in this movie.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jeff Bridges just brings that, like, I don't even know. It's just an aura that he brings in. Like, it's infinitely, like, dressed up. People, like, it's the dude. It's great.
And all the little characters along the way, like the woman painting stuff and the Jesus, and he's like,
Nobody fucks with Jesus.
Nobody fucks with the Jesus. I mean, it's just.
Didn't they make a movie about him too recently? A spin-off?
Really? I mean, I'll watch.
I
don't
want to
know.
say Prime came out with like an exclusive movie that was just about the Jesus.
So I have to ask, Alyssa, you seemed like you weren't in on the Big Lebowski here. Are you out on this one?
How many times you seen it?
Damn it, Brian. Why you gotta do that?
Is this a zero?
I've never seen it. I'm sorry.
my
I know.
goodness.
I'll add
Yeah.
to the list. It was supposed to be seen today, but I did yard work instead.
You got homework. Is this your homework, Larry? I mean, that's.
Just your fucking homework.
Alyssa, you'll get that joke when you see the movie this week.
Yeah, it ties the rim.
It's
together,
on the
Alyssa.
list.
It really,
Yeah.
that's it. Really ties.
I'll
them
work
together.
on it.
All right. Well, you know, you can't. Not everyone.
But I
can
was
do it.
also pretty locked in to the next one because Brian got me all squirrely. And now I'm like, I don't know about this top 6. I'm afraid that my like 5th or 4th one won't make it. And do I put that there or do I put this other movie here? I don't know. This movie is first off, this actor has to be represented somehow. And in my personal opinion, this is the best way to do it. Because of this movie, I am a Dolphins fan. And I am a big fan of theatrical, physical comedy. So Ace Ventura Pet Detective is what I'm going to throw up for number 6.
Finkel is Ihorn, Ihorn is Finkel. Okay.
So early on the show, I alluded to a movie that I don't quite remember. That's this one. I just.
What? I'm
Because
wearing my t-shirt and everything.
I noticed that. I did notice that. Which is why early in the show I was like, you know what, that movie's probably gonna come up. I have no reason to veto it. Everyone loves it. I have to watch it again. So that's
I will say, watching it as an adult, like I watched it this week. Some things you just shouldn't repeat too many times because they lose their sparkle. But I did watch a new movie from the 90s that's very popular I'd never seen, and it's got to be in the top 5 above Ace Ventura now. So it's funny how, like, sometimes if you miss seeing it when you're younger, you can almost appreciate it a little bit when you're older, or just hits different. So,
okay.
Don't know what Ace Ventura is going to do for you, but it's.
I'll let you know. I mean, a big football guy, some might say. So the football aspect seems appealing. I don't have a veto, so.
I'm gonna pickle because there is another Jim Carrey movie that I still want on this list. Now, if we double up any actor, Jim Carrey, I feel like definitely is in the running of 1 or 2 actors that can do that. But I got 6 movies I want on this list, and we got 5 spots. I guess JJ, you are first on the veto strike. Are you using your veto here? Are you moving on?
I'm going to hold on to mine. I feel like Jim Carrey is going to be represented again, obviously. And I'm very, very okay with that because I do love Ace Ventura. Bigger fan of number 2, just probably because of the rhino
Really?
scene.
Ooh.
Oh, I fucking love the rhino. Like him busting out of there, it's all sweaty. And like it's all just the way that they played that out. I laughed every single time.
I think I've only seen that one on TBS, so I need to watch it. Like
I'm watching. Yeah, it's on the list.
Yeah, it's not. It's just like she said. Like watching it as an adult, it's really not that great. But it's still
It has to
funny.
be done. It has to be done.
Yeah.
I've entered the realm of like movies like you think you've seen them, but you might not have ever seen them. I might not have ever seen them.
yeah.
But I've seen the rhino part.
Fucking hilarious.
Know that scene.
Bumblebee tuna.
All right, JJ, what is
yeah.
this is your you still got 2 picks left. You got number
So wait,
5 and number 1.
you're not about to veto that one?
I'm not going to veto it. It's Jim Carrey. He's brilliant. Rewatching it now that I'm a little older and like in 2025, there's a few parts where it's like, it's not quite, didn't hit quite the same as when I was a kid. But overall, it's still an amazing movie. I can really appreciate how Jim Carrey acts, just the way his comedy is. I'm not a huge slapstick guy typically, but his mannerisms, man,
When he goes
it's
to the
one in a
mental
million.
hospital. And he's in the tutu in the box.
The hair. Yeah, there's some things that I relate to with Jim Carrey as far as the zany attitude, and I'm here for it. Number 5,
right.
JJ, what'd it be?
So, just like you said, or just like I said, actually, there's 2 real actors that are going to be in the top 5 no matter what, I think. Jim Carrey's definitely one of them. Adam Sandler is the second, in my honest opinion. I am very, very tied right now, though, as to which one I want to see up there. I know, judging by Coop's background, he's probably going to throw one of those up, possibly. I'm thinking. So I'm going to go with The Waterboy at number 5. I absolutely love this movie. I would watch it on repeat as a kid. Mr. Coach Klein, just freaking hilarious. And you can't forget about, oh my God,
Mama said they got all them teeth because they're so ornery and they got no toothbrush.
Mama was wrong. This movie is, I think, one of Adam Sandler's like best movies from the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Can't hold anything back now.
Yeah,
I mean, I will say
this over Billy Madison.
That's the thing. So I personally do. I do have another one ahead of this one though.
Same.
That's the
I do as well.
I think we're all on the same page.
So are there going to be two? Are there going to be two? Because there's another comedian that has to be on the list for me.
Same.
For sure.
Yeah.
Big fat guy,
there's
right?
two. Okay.
Is he in a little coat?
Yeah, he's got to be up there too. Okay, so then I mean, thing is, I was willing to leave The Waterboy and Billy Madison off for another movie from Adam Sandler. But
Same. I had those 2 at 2 and 3, and then I had another one of his at number 1.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with 2 going on there. I'm just upset that there's more movies that are going to be of mine that are missing the list.
my veto got coned, man. You know what I'm saying? I could have forced. I mean, again, I love this movie, so I probably wouldn't even have vetoed. These are
really
top
sad,
5
though,
movies
because
from the
I'm-
90s. Though.
One of my movies is not going to make it. And I'm having to mourn that right now. Like, I know it's not.
One of mine now.
You know
And,
what?
One of mine now.
and Brian,
one of
if
mine
you
now
wouldn't have
won't.
pulled that bullshit, I would have had a veto to possibly do something. But
Bullshit. I'm dropping gems all over this draft, and y'all are kicking them off.
Yeah, it's crazy. This is yeah.
I
have the perfect list right here. If you want me to give me the last 4, and I'll just make sure everything's perfect.
I still have my veto. And I don't want to veto this because it's a bad movie or a bad comedy. I love The Waterboy. This was a minivan movie for me. I've got 2 significantly younger little brothers, and he was 6 years old playing football, and he'd throw his water bottle down saying, "Who drank all the goddamn Gatorade?" And it was the funniest fucking shit I've ever seen, you know? Oh, man. But I got 4 movies that have to... No, I've got 5 movies that need to... I'm going to veto it. I'm going to veto it.
5.
So,
I got
but I got
5.
5.
I'm hoping we have the same 5.
Same. There goes my veto. We have 1 veto left on the board. It is JJ's.
Waterboy should be right there where White Men Can't Jump is.
Basketball.
ooh,
No.
see, now when you do from the bottom up, you have regrets.
And that's
when you
what
get
makes
to
this fun
point.
from starting at the
I had-
bottom. It forces
I had
it.
basketball over this one and Billy Madison.
Interesting. I need to check out basketball
Ooh.
then. I've always had a
very
baseball
fun.
bias because it's boring as shit. So
Not
like,
about baseball, dude. It's about idiots, dude. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's what makes it so fun.
All right, JJ, you have been vetoed. Give me number 5. What is your new pick?
Oh, number 5.
I hope I didn't
You
use
know-
veto too soon.
I still have a veto. So I know, sadly, I know what movie Brian and Alyssa have been talking about this entire time of one they have not seen. So
Oh, yeah.
Cheating.
it needs to be on the list. So I'm going to put it on the list myself. And then I can veto their other options because I'm an asshole.
Maybe.
And I
We'll see.
choose Office Space going in. at number
No,
Great
fucker.
Excellent pick.
Yeah.
Should have been
Yes.
top 3. Should have been top 3.
Yes.
That's an excellent pick. I had 4. I had 4 on my list.
I had it 2.
Me too.
Why didn't you do that the first time?
Come on, man. That's
So
a movie I'd never
I
seen.
really wanted you to pick the golfing movie, and I was gonna stick with the football movie, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get a different one up there. I think.
Oh,
But
okay.
anyway, Office Space, like, there's a list because there's a difference between like nostalgic, funny comedy and like legitimately good movie. Office
Yeah.
Space is a legitimately.
It is one of the
I'll burn this place
best
to the ground.
And it
movies
gets
from the
better.
90s.
Oh, no.
with time.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, had never seen this.
Like, I would not have
and-
appreciated that as a kid. No way. But after working in an office, like that fucking printer, oh yeah. There's been days I almost decked a printer.
What's your
So-
name? What's your name? Nah, it's not gonna work out here anymore. That's for sure. Like, it's just, dude, the two Bobs are so
Dude,
perfect.
Dr. Cox, fucking love him, man.
So good.
Yeah,
dude.
Jennifer Aniston. Woo! Yeah, this was a movie I had never seen until just about a week ago, and I've watched it 2 more times since then. One of which with Alyssa, and then I just had to turn it on 1 more time.
You're
because,
obsessed.
like, the soundtrack of this movie, the guy who directed it is the guy that did Silicon Valley, and that's exactly the vibe you get from that. You're dealing with office shit, tech stuff, and then they just drop in these bangers, these hard rap songs, and it
Yes,
just
dude.
kills it.
Damn, it
Little
feels
white
good to be
boy.
a gangster. Real
I-
day, every day. Dude,
I
that one,
rolled into my office for the first time 2 years ago, and there's a red stapler sitting on the front counter, and I lost my shit. And then this sweet, like, 50-year-old woman that works in her office was like, "Oh yeah, that's my stapler," and I was like, "No, that's my stapler." And she started laughing so much. She's like,
Yes.
"Nobody else appreciates Office Space around this," and I was like, "Holy shit, yes, I love it."
So little trivia on that. They actually did not sell a red swing line stapler before the movie. They
Really?
started
Oh.
making them after because of the demand for them. But,
Because of the
before
movie?
the movie, they did not make them. No.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Stapler trivia. Did not
Yeah,
ever think I would know that, but
So there's another one because I actually saw. I'm just ripping these from an article I saw. The other one that blew my mind is the Dia de los Muertos parade from James Bond.
hmm
They didn't actually used to do that parade, but after the movie, they not only decided to do it, but they reached out to the James Bond production company and said, "Can we have like a bunch of those props?" And they said, "Sure." And now they like run the parade with like a bunch of those like big crazy props from the
No
movie.
shit.
What?
no shit.
Yeah,
That's
that's a
crazy.
that's a
That's
big
badass.
swing. That's a big swing line stapler right there.
Yeah, that is. Too. I like that saying too. That's a big swing line stapler.
That's
Yeah.
a big swing line stapler.
So JJ, you got number 5 in there, Office Space. I wish I'd want to veto this if I could, because I want this in the top 2, top 3, but top 5, I'll concede.
It's right. All right, I'm up. There are 3 movies that I think that I'll be very disappointed if they aren't the top 3. Very disappointed. So now I have a decision to make. Do I want to make sure my movie gets on the list, or do I go with my movie number 4 movie that I think should be on this list?
Play with fire.
I'm going to try to shoot the moon and get all 4. I'll be very disappointed if
Okay.
the other one's on here. But so this movie is ranked 4 for me, not in my top tier, but and this is a movie I saw recently that I think did hold up. There's Something About Mary with Ben Stiller is so damn funny that I have a hard time not putting it in my top 5 for the 90s.
Yes.
And if you want to take it out, you take it out, and that's fine. That means my top 3 are definitely on there. But this movie is so damn funny. How'd you get the beans above the Frank? I mean, it is just
Oh,
it makes
there's
fun.
my
It,
hair gel.
it-
That
like the cringe part, the cringe factor watching this movie, like it makes
Oh,
the hair,
yeah.
like I get goosebumps. I'm just like, dude, be normal for a second. But it is so funny, man. That movie's too funny. Take it out.
I don't think Ben Stiller would be Ben Stiller today without that movie.
Truly.
Like it is cringy through the majority of it, but oh my god, it is hilarious. I have it at number 4.
Yeah.
That
Good.
Do you
legitly is.
really?
Yes, like I
Dang.
absolutely crack up at this movie. Oh,
And
it's so-
this movie wouldn't have made it on the list had you picked Coneheads, right?
Yeah.
I was banking on y'all to veto it, and it worked.
Would you? So you are going to remove it? You can if you want. I would.
No,
Understand.
I'm gonna leave it on there because Ben Stiller needs to be represented in
Yeah.
the '90s. Ben Stiller is a solid '90s character. There's Something About Mary. Is
Love
it
a
my
young
favorite
Cameron
Ben
Diaz,
Stiller movie?
too.
No, but oh yeah, well Cameron Diaz.
What is your
yeah.
favorite Ben Stiller movie? Tropic Thunder.
Yes.
Tropic Thunder? Yeah.
Yes. It's my favorite Tom Cruise movie.
I'm also like a huge fan of heavyweights, though. If I'm talking like
Oh.
90s
Fucking-
style.
So that's why I don't like Ben Stiller. My first taste of him was Heavyweights and Dodgeball. What? He's the fucking villain. He's
Dodgeball's
always just the villain
so
to me.
funny.
Dodgeball's
He's so
good.
funny as the villain though in Heavyweights. Like
Yeah.
I mean, he's
Come
funny
here,
in
you
both. But,
devil
like,
dog. Ugh, like what the?
Which
fuck?
makes, like, I think Meet the Parents and Meet the Fockers hit so much harder because he's still the protagonist, but like you don't always root for him because he's still kind of
Yeah.
that dick. And it cemented Ben Stiller like that to me. So it was so hard for me to kind of see him in these, like we did what's the Walter Mitty movie we did, JJ?
The Secret Life
Secret
of
Life of
Walter
Walter
Mitty.
Mitty.
Yeah, we did that. It was so weird seeing him in that role for me. I just didn't like it. I want to see him be a little bit more dickish.
I want to see his anger. I want to see him lose his shit a little bit.
Well,
That's
you know
true.
what?
Take those little chopsticks out of your ear and clean your ear out. And
Talk about somebody being dickish and seeing some anger. Folks, I'm up here at number 3. And just because Rush Hour got vetoed doesn't mean I can't play it again.
Don't you do
Doesn't mean I can't play it again. But JJ's got a
We
veto,
will
so
bully
I
you.
know
I
it's...
was about to say you're just wasting your breath because I vetoed it the first time.
So we did hit a predicament here. I've got 4 movies that need to go on the board, and we've only got 3 spots.
There's
so
3. There's 3 that need to go on.
3.
There's 2, and then it's kind of a grouping of 2s for me right now, and 2 of them will be repeat actors, and I think one of them is going to have to miss it, unfortunately, because I want to get.
You're making me nervous, Brian.
don't tinker. This is what he does an hour before kickoff during football season, and he starts fucking with his lineups.
You're
and
being a
he's like, "I don't
You're
know
being a
what to do."
hipster, Brian. You're being a hipster right
I
now.
want Bill Murray
Just
on
take
this
a
list.
breath.
Go with the chalk.
I
Play
want
the
Bill
chalk.
Murray on this list.
No.
This movie's so
You
good.
had your chance, Brian, at
It's
7
so-
to put that there. It is
I know-
good, but guess what? It's not
It's-
top 3, baby. Unless anyone disagrees.
Come on, you don't want Ned Ryerson on this bitch?
Ryerson.
Oh, all right, fine. All right, I'm gonna put.
I have that
Brian.
movie at 11. You're talking Groundhog Day, I imagine.
Yeah, I'm talking Groundhog Day. I'm
Yeah, I
just gonna
thought at
talk about
8.
it here to get credit for it, even though it's not gonna make the list.
It's a good movie,
It's
bro.
so frustrating.
Might be one of the
It's
best
so frustrating.
actual movies on this list.
Frustrating.
My wife asked us to shut it off. She was just like, "This is too. It's painful."
Yeah. Oh, JJ, were you looking for this?
Frustrating.
Frustrating.
It is a good movie, but it is not top 3.
Agreed. That's all needs to be said.
All right,
Alright.
then we are going back to Adam Sandler. I have to. It was hard for me to rank. He's got 3 that are huge in this time. We got Happy Gilmore, we got Waterboy, we got Billy Madison. Billy Madison might be the most quoted for me, but I think Happy Gilmore is my favorite and the best movie out of it. So I'm gonna represent it and put it up here at number 3. Happy Gilmore, Adam Sandler, arguably the biggest star of this decade. Who's y'all's biggest one? Jim Carrey or Adam Sandler from this decade?
It's Sandler, bro.
Is it Sandler? I think it's Sandler.
Yeah.
Because I think Big Daddy also quietly is in the 90s,
It was my bottom
Yeah.
tier.
It was
yeah.
right at 99.
Yeah, it was
So,
90.
Yeah.
which gives him 4 like bangers, dude.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
The Mask, I don't.
The Mask
Oh,
is
but
good,
in
though.
'94, Jim Carrey had The Mask, Dumb and Dumber, and Ace Ventura, and they were all $100 million.
And
Jim Carrey wins.
They're
So
both
let me throw a name out
funny.
there because I know this isn't going to end up on there, but like this one falls into the not quite a comedy, but The Truman Show I think was also in the 90s.
so just watched that one. I had to refresh. I was like, all right, it's not quite
Very
a comedy.
good movie, but it's not a 90s comedy.
Yeah, it's more of
I
a,
think
a drama
90s
than a
comedy is a specific category of its own.
Yeah, and I feel like that was him
Truly.
trying to break out of the comedy just a little bit with
Was-
that, and then Cable Guy as well.
Was Liar Liar?
Cable Guy.
That was 90.
Oh my god, those
That
are-
was 90s as well.
The Cable Guy
Damn.
and the Truman Show are also probably the best like
Movies.
film-wise movies.
Yeah,
like
100%.
movies.
Yeah.
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 100%.
90s was though, like, I know we kind of talked about this at the beginning, but it took comedy from just comedy to comedy and then fill in the blank. And that's why I think it's hard in this decade to say, like, is it a comedy? Is it not? Because there's so many that are kind of dual category or genre.
100%. There's a bunch of them that I know aren't going to be on the list. Can I just throw them out real quick?
Right?
Toss
Should we
them
just have
out.
a moment where we can say all of them?
Can we
and be
say
sad
something?
for a
Because like I
second?
was on the line of like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels is
Fuck
funny
yes.
to me. But that's not a. But you know what I mean? That's not a '90s
It's-
comedy. But I fucking love that movie. Snatch is my favorite movie all the time. Is
Snatch.
Snatch. That's my. But it's 2001. But that's
Yeah.
my favorite movie all the time. But like that one doesn't count. I really like Rushmore, but like that's not a. It's a came out in the '90s, but that's not a '90s comedy.
You like Dags?
You like Dags?
You like that?
2 minutes.
Yeah,
Turkish.
we've done that movie on this podcast
Oh,
as well.
fuck,
I
that's my
love Guy
very
Ritchie.
favorite.
Yeah, same. Guy Ritchie's one of my
What
favorite
else? You guys,
directors of all
you guys,
time.
any that you felt were on the line that just like good movies, but like not.
So
not
Men in Black and Wild Wild West. I've got a man crush for Will Smith, so I knew I wasn't gonna get him on there, but I wanted those there. In the Army Now with Pauly Shore and Andy Dick. One of the first VHS 90s.
real quick on the Wild Wild West. Every time I hear the name Colston Loveland, it reminds me of the bad guy from Wild Wild West. What's his name? Like Loveless or something
Loveless,
like that.
yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah.
I beat my feet on the Mississippi. The name Colston Loveland. I just picture that dude. I don't know why. Sorry to interrupt.
No. Yeah, I had those two. Major Payne was in consideration. I also had Mrs. Doubtfire, Dazed and Confused, Nutty
Yep.
Professor, Sister Act.
I'm really surprised. Well, I'm not really surprised actually. Pauly Shore was such a big hit in the '90s. Like, yeah, but his movies are so stupid. Like Biodome.
Right.
I
Yeah.
used to watch Biodome back in the day. Straight stoner comedy, but dumb as hell.
Vegas
Grumpy-
Vacation. I wanted to give some love to the vacation movies, but Vegas is my least favorite of the four.
Yeah, it's a tough period.
Yeah.
The other one, not a comedy at all. I feel now that I think about it, but like Fargo came to mind as one that I was like, good movie, but not quite a comedy.
Not a comedy. Grumpy Old Men and Grumpier Old Men.
I don't
Those.
think I've seen that.
Yeah, I mean, it's Walter Matthau. Like, it's definitely older people, but I fucking cracked up as a kid. Even as an adult, I watched them shit a year or so ago, and I'm still laughing my ass off.
American Pie. Talk about a line.
Yeah.
One time at band
Yeah.
camp, and it spun off a franchise. It was the bottom tier. I wanted it in there, but we have
Couldn't
basketball.
got it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anyone mention like Clerks and that whole group of movies?
I've never been able to watch it.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Black
I
and white
didn't-
just turned me off immediately.
I didn't like Clerks. Clerks 2, I was a fan of.
Clerks 2 is good. Mallrats, like I enjoy those, but like they just on a list like this, they're too like dark niche, you know. Like,
Kevin
it needs
Smith's
to be
just
silly. All right, you guys, do
I
the
like
right thing.
the teen like coming of age. Like 10 things
Yeah.
I hate about you. That was on my list. I knew it
Actually-
wasn't gonna make it, but
We need to do a rom-coms draft and do like 90s, 2000s rom-coms.
I think
Oh
that
my
is
God,
needed.
yes.
My wife
100%.
would, yeah, she would destroy that, dude. She showed me
There's
so
so
many
many.
that are legitimately so very funny. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days is
Yes.
so funny.
top
Yeah.
top
Yeah,
notch.
it's so good. It's like perfect.
Oh.
Alyssa, give me that number 2 movie. Don't screw this up. Come on.
I
game
mean,
face.
I told you I'm not locked into them being 1 or 2. So I think we're all on the same page with what is going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, JJ's
Does
got a veto,
everyone
thank
else
God.
care?
One is clearly one.
One is one.
One is
One is
clearly two.
100% one.
Well,
I
now
have
I
no
feel
doubt.
like I'm about to be like judged
okay.
or evaluated.
JJ's got a
by what
veto.
I'm throwing
For sure.
out here.
JJ's got a veto. He can fix this.
Okay. In the 2 spot, I'm going Dumb and Dumber.
Yes.
Murder her. Veto her.
What?
No.
That should be one.
No,
I
the
will-
best
I will
movie's still
speak-
out there.
I will speak my mind on that.
I
being
was
one.
gonna put it
These
one,
are, this
but
is the top tier. These are the top 2 movies for sure. Look, Dumb and some movies transcend your opinions and even mine. And Dumb and Dumber, 90s comedy, Dumb and Dumber is like the peak. It's the pinnacle. It is the poster boy. And
you're making me regret it because I wanted
no,
that
you
at the
should.
1. But
should.
JJ, honestly, I don't know if I can trust you. I just don't know.
He's gonna put Coneheads at 1.
If you go Coneheads
Like,
on one, I'm never.
he could be
coming
like,
back on
mic
any
drop, logging off.
the football show, the
Wayne's
movie,
World,
none of-
bitches.
none of it. So JJ, here's your chance. To never
I
have me
do
back.
have to veto that. And
Oh.
I will give away my pick. Dumb and Dumber is the number 1 comedy movie, most quoted comedy movie
False.
of the 90s.
I love
JJ,
it a
you
lot.
did a very
Yes.
Jim Carrey, Jeff Daniels just fucking kill it. I mean, you sold my dead bird to a blind kid.
Our
Let's
pets,
go.
our pets' heads are falling off.
I can remember my mom was making us like clean the house or whatever, and I hear her yelling my name, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I come out of my room from cleaning my room, and she's like in the living room, and here is the diarrhea scene. And I am in the 4th grade, and I absolutely lose my shit.
So good, dude. What did that look like on the script? Like that,
Right?
And then he has diarrhea again. You know what I mean? It's like,
And have
Also-
you seen the unrated version?
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I have.
Yeah, so it gets dark. It adds a good amount of time on the movie. The unrated
Harry
version does.
gets
Like,
dark.
yes.
I don't know if I want that. I will now admit. So JJ, now that you've done the right thing, you use your powers of evil to actually do a great thing here. So I'm glad you
You can
coneheaded
call me
Well,
Batman.
I mean, let's
I'm
not
glad-
give him too much
He
credit.
still could pick
You've only
Coneheads at
known him
one.
for an episode.
Yeah. My
No,
vote
no.
still isn't in. So
You could,
Alyssa,
okay.
if Alyssa doesn't truly fuck this up,
Now I will say that I did Dumb and Dumber a special place in my heart because I grew up in a town called North Attleboro. It's like one of the last towns before Rhode Island, and we'd always drive through Providence. And to this day, Providence is so small. When you drive through Providence, you see that big blue bug. You see all the landmarks from that movie. And there's
Aw.
yes, the big blue bug is there,
That's
and it
cool.
is fucking huge. I don't know if you ever driven through Providence. That
Huh.
it's some like termite place that just has this gigantic crazy bug. So like
Interesting.
in special place my heart. So JJ, good job. Alyssa, do the right thing. We'll wrap this up.
Wouldn't it be a plot twist if I threw in some bullshit movie here?
she says Conan.
Kingpin.
Double up on Woody Harrelson and bowling movies.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, number 2 spot, I hope we can all agree, is Tommy Boy.
Oh, thank God.
Thank goodness. Yeah, I was the one nervous. I realized.
Yeah.
I should have really drug that out, but
Yeah. Now, has anyone watched Black Sheep in a while?
Yes,
Yes.
so Black Sheep is on
Not
my
a bit.
list as well, but it was very low just because.
Behind Tommy Boy. It's the same movie. If we're being
Yeah,
honest,
it
it's
is.
the
Yeah.
same
It's just
movie.
more of the same. Yeah. Yeah, but Tommy Boy's so perfect, bro.
So Tommy Boy, this was the first PG-13 movie that I think I ever saw. You know, I had a friend come over to my house. He brought it over, and he left it there. And I didn't tell him that he did. Because my mom didn't necessarily let me have PG-13 movies. I was like 10, 11-ish, and like I watched this movie religiously. I had an iPod video for folks that are so young. Yeah, there used to be different stages of iPods. I got an iPod video where you just spend like $40 for a fucking MP4 movie. I learned how to convert movies to MP4. The first iPod movie I put on my iPod was Tommy Boy. I watched this thing all day. I'd go to school in like study hall and I would watch Tommy Boy on this tiny 2-inch screen. I would watch it over and over and over. If somebody had a gun to my wife's head and they said, you have to quote one movie and get everything right, this would be that movie. My TED Talk's over. I love this movie.
I mean, jeez. Pretty good for number 2.
No, it's number 1. Fucking number 1. I really thought we were all on the
Honestly,
same
probably
page.
the best speech for a number 2 movie I've ever heard. And Tommy Boy rules. Dude. Tommy Boy rules. And
So-
those are the first 2 movies I put on my sheet.
Yeah.
It was like Dumb and Dumber, Tommy Boy.
Same.
Put them down.
Answer me this. How does David Spade look older in this movie than he did throughout the entire 2000s?
for real.
That's movie magic, dude. That's vegan magic.
Right? All right, JJ.
I didn't know that Sandusky was a real place until I moved to Ohio, and now I know Sandusky is a real place, and they actually have a Callahan Days where they celebrate Tommy Boy.
And
It's a
what's
weekend.
What?
cool too, we've done 50 First Dates on the pod, but in that movie, an Adam Sandler movie who ran with Farley, they talk about their research clinic being out of Sandusky, Ohio from Big Tom Callahan. It was one of those plugs, the moment I heard it, it just like triggered because those names, you know, just those things pop in. But
That
yeah,
rocks.
love me some Tommy Boy.
So anyway, as predicted and said before, number 1, go ahead. Yep, Bonehead, here we are. No. Dumb and Dumber, the greatest movie ever made in the history of movies and anything. Dumb and Dumber,
Fact.
100%.
Easy. Done.
What do you think is more quotable? Dumb and
Dumb and
Dumber, Tommy
Dumb and
Boy,
Dumber.
or Happy Gilmore?
Tommy
Dumb
Boy.
and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber by 4. I mean,
Yeah.
the thing is, Tommy Boy's also great. I mean, they all are. She plays for one of the. She must play for one of the Yankees. But
Who's your
like,
favorite little rascal?
Dumb and
Alfalfa
Dumb.
or
Yeah.
Spanky?
The thing is, if you watch Dumb and Dumb, the more you watch Dumb and Dumber, like you always find something you didn't notice.
Yeah.
Because Jim Carrey,
Yeah.
even when he's not talking, he's doing something so weird. You know what I mean? He's just like in the background, like picking his nose. Like it's just,
Yeah.
it's so good, man.
I will say the amount of like smart humor that's actually in that movie. That like when I did research when we first watched it, there were so many things. Like, I mean, I the one that's
Drawing a
coming to
blank.
mind I don't want to bring up right now actually because it's like the most grotesque one. But like anyway, yeah, Dumb and Dumber is greatness. Coop, who is dumb and who is dumber in that movie?
I would say that Jeff Daniels is dumb, but Jim Carrey's dumber, dude. I mean, Jeff Daniels is just incredible that he was like a serious actor. Like he wasn't even like that was his first like funny movie. Like the other movie in that era is like him like dying in the beginning of Speed. Like he's, you know what I mean? Like, and he was like wasn't he on like he was like doing like plays and stuff.
Yeah,
Like, he was
I
like
thought so,
yeah. He like tried
actually-
out for that and they were like, holy shit.
he actually only got paid $50K for the movie when Carrey got $7 million. Because he was coming in
Whoa.
as not the comedic actor and the lead guy.
But he crushed, dude. He crushed.
Damn.
They all crushed, bro.
Absolutely. All right, so those of you that aren't watching, that are listening along, let's go through this list. At number 13, we got Basketball, My Cousin Vinny, White Men Can't Jump. Number 10, we've got Clueless, followed by Friday, Austin Powers, Big Lebowski, Ace Ventura, Office Space at 5, Something About Mary, Happy Gilmore, Tommy Boy, and Dumb and Dumber. And as far as like you talked about SNL alums earlier, Alyssa, we did a good job as far as hitting. You know, we got an Austin Powers in there, we got the Sandler, we got the Farleys. We did a pretty damn good job here across the board.
I think so. Considering like we could have done just there's a category like SNL movies. Because there were so many. Like I could have done Billy Madison, I could have done Waterboy, Happy Gilmore. Big Daddy was definitely I've always just loved that movie. I think it's funny. And I don't know, there's so many we could have thrown up there with just those few actors. So I feel like we have a good representation for the people.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really sad we didn't have a Robin Williams movie.
I was just gonna say
Same. Mrs. Doubtfire was high on my list.
I put Miss Doubtfire at 13 just because we needed to have one. Like that's how I've rounded my last 3 out. Is I put my 11, 12, and 13 are Groundhog Day, Kingpin, and Miss Doubtfire because I wanted to have those 3 guys on there. You know,
Yeah.
It's like, but I had to get my guys basketball on there.
Yeah.
I'm also the guest, so it's kind of great that I got what I wanted there.
Well, good. I'm glad you got something there because clearly the wheel wasn't being your friend there at all.
I know, unbelievable, dude.
Brian rigged it
All
to
that
work
bad
that way.
tight end juju from the last rigging of the wheel.
Hey, come on. You know, you can't tell people my secrets.
That one was the secret. If you guys like fantasy football, go back and watch that show. You can see that the wheel, the slice on the wheel is huge because we gotta talk. The guest must be appeased in some way.
Absolutely. That's what we do here on Too Much Movie Night and Too Much Fantasy Football, if you're so inclined. But folks, this was great. This was awesome. We had to dabble into the 90s, and we know what that's all about here. I mean, because that sound was just invented in the 90s, wasn't it? Loved it. Folks, it's going to be the wrap-up for our draft. If you want to check it out, see all the visuals, it's all over here on YouTube, or if you're on Spotify, we got Video Pod there. It's Brian, JJ, and Alyssa. You see us regularly here. But Coop, where can the people find you if they're looking for more of you?
Yeah, all my stuff is at Fantasy Alarm. You can find me on Sirius XM, Channel 87, Thursdays and Fridays and Sunday mornings. And on Twitter at Coop A Fiasco, or on Blue Sky at Coop A Fiasco there as well, or on Reddit at Coop There It Is. I'm kind of all over the internet, just talking about mostly.
There it is.
Coop There It Is. How about a 90s
That's
name for you?
nice.
Right
Yeah.
Yeah.
there?
No kidding.
So, yeah, and definitely, I mean, this has been great. Love to be back. So put me back in the rotation, brother.
Do
And
it.
I didn't prepare an outro for it, so we're going back to White Chicks, folks, and we're leaving like that. Yeah, make sure you're liking, subscribing, following us all over Spotify, Apple Podcast, or on here on YouTube. JJ, Alyssa, you got anything for us before we get out of here?
No, I love it. Let's take it back to our childhoods and let's have fun, people. Can't wait to see you next time.